Have you ever heard that phrase, make lemonade out of lemons? It's a famous phrase, and I think I've heard it quite a few times. But I don't know why last week I was just thinking about the video for this week, and that just resonated, with me. Making lemonade out of lemons. My topic today is your attitude determines your altitude. So we're talking about making lemonade out of lemons. It's the same thing. So when life throws situations at you, when you're going through stuff, when, for example, you get laid off after working at the place for 25 years and they tell you your job is gone, or you suffer a miscarriage, you lose a baby, it's not a fun thing, or you suddenly have a sick child on your hands, or life just happens. So many things could happen to us. You go through a divorce that you weren't planning for. Life gives us situations that we don't plan for, and it just throws those situations at us. How do we react to them? That's what I'm talking about today. So we're talking about making lemonade out of lemon. So you might wonder, what does that mean? It means that we can always choose to react to life in a good way or in a bad way. So Charles Swindoll says, life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. So this afternoon, I just want to talk about us reacting with an attitude of gratitude. So when life throws situations at us, the best thing to do is, you're not going to say, oh, why me? Why does this have to happen to me? Rather, it would be better for you to say, you know what? This might be happening to me right now, but how can I make a lemonade out of lemons? How can I make the best out of this situation? There's a saying that says that sometimes you think you don't have shoes and you're saying, oh, I don't have shoes. But then you see someone that doesn't even have feet, and then you're grateful for the shoes that you don't have. At least you have feet, you can walk, even if you don't have shoes. So this afternoon, that's just my thing to you. Growing up, my dad had this saying, no matter what you were going through, he would always say to you, everything in life is for a little while. And I grew up with that phrase. Everything you take to my dad, he would always say, everything in life is for a little while. And it helped me a lot, because I remember that when I was in the tough situations of life, whenever I went through challenges, I would always remember what my dad used to tell us. That even if I'm going through this challenge right now, it's only for a little while. And that really, really strengthened me, because challenge after challenge, I was able to just hold on and say, what, everything in life is for a little while. The Bible says, in all things give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you. In all things give thanks. He wants us to give thanks, because what happens when we give thanks, when we have gratitude, a lot of time the situation doesn't actually seem as bad as it actually is. I find that when you give thanks, you don't have room to complain. When you give thanks, your heart is full, because you're just like, what, I might not have everything I need, but what I have, I'm going to be grateful for it. And you find that when you give thanks, you're able to pass through your situation actually in an easier way. You're able to make a lemonade out of lemon. Making lemonade, the lemons have to be squeezed. The lemons have to be squeezed to get the juice out of them before anything is added to it. And I'm sure the lemons don't like being squeezed. But it's in the process of those lemons being squeezed that the lemonade comes forth. It's in the process of you going through stuff that beautiful things come out of. In that process, a lot of things that you might think, oh, why am I going through this? You actually see the beauty at the end. So whatever you're going through today, my encouragement to you is, how can you make lemonade out of your lemons? See what you can do. Gratitude is so, so, so important. I would like to share a story of a lady. During the week, as I was just pondering on the video for this week, I came across the story of this lady on Facebook, and it really, really inspired me. Her name is Tiffany Haddish. That's the lady. Her dad left home when she was 3 years old. And then her mom had a tragic accident after that. And because of the accident, her mom became mentally impaired, and then she started acting out. Her mom used to beat her, and her mom used to call her ugly. After a while, they had to remove her from the house. She was put in foster care. And while she was actually called practically illiterate. And it was said that until she went to grade 9, she had a grade 1 level of reading. So her classmates used to laugh at her, and she was called the class clown. She used to copy work at school from her classmates. Imagine you don't have a good home life and you have that going on. So she grew up in foster care. So she had this traumatizing childhood. And then she had to grow up in foster care. And, you know, life was really hard. And at one point, her social worker said to her, you have two choices. Do you choose to go into counseling, to therapy, or do you choose to go to comedy school? And at this time, she knew she loved to make people laugh. So she chose to go into comedy school. She started, you know, she started with comedies. But she said life wasn't actually easy. You know, at one point, things became really tough and she was forced to live out of her car. And in the course of that, one of her fellow comedians saw her one of the days, saw her car packed with stuff and asked her if she had any problems. And she said no. She lied and said she was moving, so that she wouldn't have to tell him, you know, she was ashamed. She wouldn't have to tell him that I'm living out of my car. He gave her $300 irrespective and told her to get a motel. I think he kind of says that she was living out of her car. And then he said to her to set life goals. Apparently that night she started writing. He told her to write. She started writing her life goals. And guess what happened? She got to meet Jada Pinkett Smith along the line and started working with her. In doing that, she got to act comedies with her. One of the acts she did was Girls Trip. So she got to do that. And that guy that was her fellow comedian was Kevin Hart. That's one of the popular comedians that we watch on TV today. So he kind of helped her along the way. And in the long run, she's been able to produce comedy specials. She's gone on to appear on Saturday Night Live. She became the first black female comedian to host Saturday Night Live. What am I talking about? Life happened to her. She grew up in foster care. She went through a traumatizing childhood, but what? She chose to make lemonade out of her lemons. It's your situation. What are you going to do with what life throws at you? In all things, you have to find a way to give thanks, but also you have to think, how can I make the best of my situation? God is always there to help you, but you have to make that choice, not to stay in the attitude of complaining, but to move over to the attitude of gratitude. That's my shot of encouragement to you today. My name is Olu Olabode, and this is Dreams of the Heart TV. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear comments. Share this with other people, and have a great week ahead. I will see you next week.